Hi, my name is Angela Jones and I'm married to Richard. We have two daughters, Victoria and Melanie. Victoria lives in Stacksteads and Melanie lives with her husband, Andy, in Hertfordshire in Stevenage. We live in Bacup in Lancashire. We just love the Rossendale Valley and being out in the countryside in just a few minutes, it's a really nice place to live. I was born in Sale, in Cheshire, not far from Manchester. So I'm obviously a city girl, but I much prefer the countryside. I went to school in Sale, just an ordinary secondary school. Sad to say I left school at 15. I didn't get any exams or anything like that. I went off to work in a school uniform shop. But since then I've done some training as a healthcare assistant and went up and did a few things in the nursing line. I also was a childminder at times, and I just feel like I've had a good varied life in that sense. Enjoyed it, and I've lived in lots of different places in the country. I've lived in London, I've lived in Hertfordshire, in St Albans, I've lived in Yorkshire. But I think my favourite place to live has been Rossendale, and I think this is our permanent home now. I really like it here. Thank you. My favourite food is a curry. When I was about 10, we had an Indian family move in opposite us, and we became friends, and I used to play a lot with their children. Obviously went there for tea quite often, and I would find myself over there at most tea times because I preferred the curry to the English food. So I really enjoy that. I make a mean curry myself, and I also like a good roast chicken dinner, but I have to say my favourite really is a proper Indian curry, not from a restaurant, but from an Indian family who cook it there and then. Wonderful. Absolutely love it. I have a favourite book and a favourite film. My favourite book is The Shack. It's all about a chap who doesn't really understand or believe that much in God, but then something happens to one of his children and he gets a request from God to meet him at the shack, and it's a very powerful story, and if you didn't believe before, I'm sure you'd believe afterwards. It's a fantastic book, and I have to say I've read it so many times. I could probably tell you the story from start to finish, but I love that. My favourite film is The Black Stallion, which is about a wild black stallion horse. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm into horses, and it's one of my favourite films from being a little girl, really. And I just love that. But as I say, the book, I just absolutely adore it, and it's now in a film, and I've watched the film a few times, but I still prefer the book. My favourite place to visit is Lanzarote. It's one of the Canary Islands. I just love it there. I just always feel like as soon as the plane touches down, I feel like I've arrived home. It's just one of those places that you either love it, a bit like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. I actually love it there. I've got some real nice friends who live over there too. And I've got favourite places to visit, La Graciosa, lots of other places on the island that are absolutely stunning and well worth a visit. And if you ever get over to the island, to Lanzarote, I'd say take a look round, but don't go by coach, go by car and see these places yourself and look into the real side of it. Absolutely beautiful, and most times the sun shines all the time. You get an occasional day of rain, but not very often. It's absolutely beautiful. How am I connected to St Anne's? Well, St Anne's is my church. I worshipping there now, I think, for almost 5 years. I just love the church there. It was one of those places that I visited because a friend was preaching, and when I walked through the doors, I felt like I'd come home. And Richard and I both worship there together. I'm on the PCC. I help out at the Patronata group. I'm a deputy church warden. Whatever I can do to help out, I usually helping out there some way or other. And it's a real wonderful place to be. Very accepting, very loving, very lovely community of people. I was also part of the choir, and I miss the choir. I really enjoyed that, and hopefully when things are different, I might get back to being in the choir, which is a community-based choir. Wonderful place to be, fantastic. And that's all down to Lindsay Hernan. She's brilliant at drawing the people together. So yeah, I do miss the choir, but that's how I'm connected to St Anne's. I've been a member there now for almost 5 years.